Hey guys, cooking, cutting up, keeping it real. Tonight in my kitchen, everybody's gonna be home. So I'm gonna cook steaks on the grill and some Brussels sprouts and some baked potatoes because we've been at my hashtag cutting up crew on cooking, cutting up, keeping it real through Facebook. We've been doing recipes. I've been showing recipes that you can use what you've got in your freezer or your cupboard or your pantry or whatever you call that. Tonight, from my freezer, I have thawed out steaks and hamburger for BFR Beef, and that you can access them on bfrbeef.com. They're friends of ours. They are fellow farmers, so all their meat is delicious, and it's grass-fed, and anyway, it's local. So we like to support our local farmers. So that's that. So let me show you how I'm gonna marinate the steaks first, okay? I have, let's see, what do I have? I have beef ribeye, because I'm using what I got out of the freezer. I'm gonna lay that right here, and I'm gonna try to look up at the camera so I can make sure y'all can see. I think you can. So I've got 2 ribeyes, and I've got 2 New York strips, okay? So cooking times will differ on those depending on how you cook them and how your grill is and all that, okay? But I do love BFR Beef. They do deliver to your door in ice packs, or the dry ice packs, and they pack their meat minus the blood because I'm throwing that away. It's wonderful. I love it. I love how they package their meat, okay? All right, I'm gonna lay this to the side and give my hands a little swish here. Okay. I've been doing this vlog for, I don't know, 7 years, and I've used this a couple times and people really seem to like it, and there's a lot of questions that go into it. I use perked coffee, like the leftover perked coffee, to season my beef a lot, so that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I have like exactly 1 cup that was left over in my coffee pot, and I'm just gonna drizzle this meat with it. This coffee has some acid or tannins or something in it that helps break down beef, from my experience, and it tenderizes the meat, and it doesn't have a coffee flavor. If you're not a coffee drinker, you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna turn them over and make sure all of them are at least covered or at least splashed with that coffee. Now, the other thing that I love that I use all the time on my beef, and that is Montreal steak seasoning. You can get that at your local grocery store here in North Carolina. I bought it at Food Line, Walmart, Sam's, Costco. They have smaller ones too. So anyway, I love it. It's Montreal steak seasoning, and I'm gonna put a shake of that on all of these steaks. And my family likes pretty heavy seasoning, and I think that's why we love this Montreal steak seasoning, because it's kind of grainy. And I do it on both sides and just kind of push it in just a little bit so that it'll stay on that meat even when I'm flipping it on the grill. I have also used the same exact marinade, if you want to call it that, with coffee and Montreal steak season on pot roast in the crock pot, and they turn out delicious every time. It's just a good flavor, but it does not taste like coffee, because I get that question a lot. I'm also gonna just set this to the side. I want this to marinate. I will do my hamburger a little later because I've got a pound of ground beef that I thawed out as well from BFR Beef, but I'm not gonna worry about that now because I'm not gonna put a marinade on that, okay? What I do want to get in my oven is this. I have bought from Instacart, had it delivered, a little bag of Brussel sprouts. And to me, these are like little cabbages. And as a kid, I didn't love them. But as an adult, I have grown to love them because I like them roasted, okay? And my family likes them roasted as well. I'm not sure about the hubs, but the boys both like them roasted. So I've washed these thoroughly, and then I'm just gonna kind of cut the ends off and cut them in 2. And I don't, I mean, like a long one like that, I'm gonna just get the end of it because I want this little head of cabbage. So I call it to hold its integrity a little bit when I'm roasting it, okay? Some of them some of them I don't really cut. If they have that, just that little bitty head on the end of it that kind of holds them together. See the difference. There we go. Anyway, I have used this recipe in the past a couple times, and I've done them a couple different ways. But tonight, I'm using what I got in my pantry, okay? Because we're in the Rona and in the Q-Team. And I don't go to the grocery store every other day anymore. I used to, not so much now. Okay, once I get all these cut in two, and they're kind of tough, so if you're not used to a knife, you know, using it this way, because it's really better to cut it on a cutting board like that. But honest to God, after 31 years, almost 31 years of being married to a farmer, I just kind of do it my way, like Frank Sinatra. Just do. Anyway, watch this be the segment that I cut myself and have to go to the hospital or something. Heaven forbid. I'm gonna take that little layer off because it had a little, just cut that. A little spot, probably from a little critter where these were grown. No telling. These are not gonna be tough when I finish cooking them. That's what I want to tell you. So after you cut them in two, I'm gonna make a little bit of a solution, marinade, I don't know what you call it, but I'm gonna pour it over these Brussels sprouts. Yeah, I think that's got it. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle these with just a dub-dub of olive oil. I call it a dub-dub. You can measure yours if you want to. I normally am more of a dump cook. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm also gonna do a dub-dub of balsamic vinegar, and I have no idea where I got this, but it's still good. Anyway. And as they're cooking, I may add a little more of that balsamic vinegar to them. I don't know yet. I'm also gonna add about a tablespoon or so of the Gourmet Collection Spice Blend, roasted garlic, rosemary, and sea salt. Something I had in the pantry. And I'm gonna put all that together, and then I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon, and I'm just gonna give these a toss. Now, I've already got my black iron skillet ready, and I have just glazed it, I guess that's what you call it, with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm gonna take my paper towel and just do this so that these suckers won't stick. I'm gonna leave all my ingredients out as I cook them, because I may add some. I may do that. I'm gonna pour these into this pan, and I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more of balsamic vinegar, and a tiny bit more of this. Now I'm gonna cook these on low on the stove top. I have a gas stove top, and I'm gonna cook them that way. And then when they are done to my liking, and we kind of like ours real done, they're kind of black. I'll show a picture underneath this vlog. But I'm gonna glaze this with just a drizzle of honey, of local grown honey from Boone, North Carolina. So I had it in my sink so that I had hot water on it so that it would be fluidy. So anyway, that's what I'm doing with those. I'm gonna set those to the side and turn my iron to low. And the last thing I'm doing with these steaks, because I have them, is sweet potatoes and one baked potato, because that's what I have. So, you know, I don't know if one of them will get that. It don't matter, There's 6 of them. And what I did with that is I rubbed it with just a little bit of olive oil around the skins of it, and then I just barely shook some kosher salt on there. And I'm gonna bake them just like that on 400, and I'm gonna watch them. And when they start to get done, I'll open up the oven and put a fork in it and see how they're done. Different people like them different ways, but this is how I'm doing it tonight. Steak, this, hamburger, and the Brussels sprouts. And I will show y'all what that looks like once I plate it up and we're ready to eat for dinner. Cooking, cutting up, keeping it real. Mama Lisa in the kitchen, dinner prep. Y'all enjoy it. We'll see ya.